To no one's surprise, Michelo is not in a hospital, he never disappeared, and he was never deported from Venezuela. His lies have been exposed. Shout out to Tipito Enojado.
I don't even have to hit play to tell you that he's in Argentina. Do you know how I know he's in Argentina? That thing right there, that key slot, that's Argentina. In Venezuela, they use a different key. That thing right there isn't normal, it's from here. Unless the hospital in Caracas imported an Argentine door because of some weird fetish and put it in the hospital rooms. I know.
Which we'll see wasn't the case. I mean, Michelo is in Argentina. In fact, he's in Salta, Argentina, his hometown. Exactly, Michelo is not in Venezuela. Michelo has lied. Michelo even deceived his own friends, unless his friends were acting, but honestly, I don't think so. I think his friends were genuinely worried about him. So, Michelo fooled everyone. He faked his disappearance for more than a week. And well, let's see how everything was a lie. Even his deportation was fraudulent.
And also, I still need to play the video. It's the floor. The floor is characteristic of almost all hospitals and health centers in Salta, Argentina. Salta, the place where Michelo was born and has his home. Super suspicious, right? And now, let's hit play on the video. Alright, the first thing you can see there is a blood pressure monitor on the wrist. That's really strange in a hospital. It's something much more common in someone's home. It's very strange for that to be there. Very suspicious. It really looks like someone is trying to stage a scene. The second strange thing is this guy's clothing. Supposedly this is Caracas, and the guy is wearing a fleece under his scrubs. Kind of weird. There you can see another pretty suspicious thing. Do you see that little table? Well, that little table over there, which we'll see in more detail in a moment, is very characteristic of any health center in Salta, Argentina.
That's very true. We're going to see it right now.
Everything is very strange. Very strange, isn't it, that the guy just stands there watching without doing anything?
Of course, he's not doing anything. He's just looking at Michelo. It's like, hey, what the hell? Why is he looking at him just like that? Do you get it?
Kind of weird. That's supposedly the order for him to be deported.
Which turns out to also be fake. I mean, just imagine that. Even this is fake. It's completely crazy.
We're not interested in the first page. Let's go to the second one. Caracas, Friday, May 22nd is bigger than everything that's there. It's like they want you to know that this is Friday, May 22nd, Caracas.
Which of course is strange. Do you know why? Let's see. Supposedly Michelo had been missing for how long? 7, 8, 9 days? It had been more than a week. The guy wasn't even answering messages from his own friends. The guy had all his followers really worried. And supposedly, they didn't send the deportation request until May 22nd. I don't know. It seems a little strange to me. Why not send it earlier, right? Obviously, I'll tell you right now, all of this, it's false. Michelo was never deported from Venezuela. Did Delcy Rodriguez ever order anyone to attack him or hurt him? Actually, what happened was that about a month ago, he was fired. Period. They told him, you know what, Michelo? We don't need you anymore. We no longer require your services, and Michelo was forced to return to Argentina with nothing. Because Michelo lost everything, and that's why Michelo was completely furious. He was extremely angry with the Chavistas because he said, I gave everything for you, and you betrayed me, and blah blah blah. It was at that moment when Michelo changed his story, and he accused Delcy Rodriguez of being a traitor. And when he started talking about the cast, it was right at that moment that Michelo returned to Argentina. Everything else was just a show, a lie, suspicious.
The other suspicious thing I want to point out, the name below is clearly false. It says Dr. No, what's false is the name below. It says Dr. Hendrik Perdomo. Well, the real name is Hendrik Perdomo. So dumb, man. Perdomo.
Rodriguez, no. Es increíble.
Perdomo. I mean, Michelo or whoever made up this document made a mistake because they're dumb. Let's continue to the next video. This is the nurse or doctor, it's not clear, bringing him food. And what we have to observe is that the blanket. The blanket is exactly the same color as Clínica Lourdes in Salta.
It turns out that they even found the clinic, so that means we even know which clinic Michelo faked all of this in.
Argentina. And the rest of the video doesn't reveal anything very important, at least not that I noticed. If you noticed something, let me know in the comments. Let's go to the next video. You can see Michelo while the nurse does something, though I'm not sure what. And there, wait, we missed something before getting to this. Do you see those blue wheels there on that little table with that curve? There you can see the blue wheel again. You can buy that little table on Mercado Libre Argentina.
No, Michelo, oh my god, what this guy does is incredible. I mean, we're talking about a little table that's sold on Mercado Libre Argentina. That's very important. So obviously this just goes to show that Michelo was in a hospital in Salta, Argentina, and that the guy recorded all of this for his social media, almost certainly. He probably knew someone at the hospital, maybe a friend who told him, you know, I'm going to help you record all of this. What I would do is contact the clinic to find out who was the person that allowed Michelo to record this lie inside the place. That's what I think is right, because there was someone who was negligent and allowed Michelo to record this craziness inside their facilities, inside a hospital that's supposed to be used to save people's lives, not for this nonsense.
So many coincidences. Now let's look at the other one seen on the little table. By the way, that little piece of furniture is very similar to this other little piece of furniture.
What? Look at this, guys. I mean, what's going on with Michelo is pretty obvious. I mean, the guy was here in this place.
Right at the Lord's clinic, everything looks so similar. And this is also suspicious. If they're going to deport you, especially in Venezuela, they don't leave your passport and ID right next to you so that it's true.
They keep everything from you. That's very true.
I ran out grabbing my things. They keep it from you. The next piece of evidence is in all the videos, so let's watch them all together. First, there's no wooden panel or outlet above the bed. Strange. In every hospital, even in Venezuela, look, these are all real images of beds in Venezuela. Venezuela and hospitals in Venezuela.
Just look at that, it's true.
They all have a small piece of wood or something on top. Do you know what else they have? Outlets. Outlets everywhere because they're necessary. And in all these videos, you don't see any outlets anywhere. And do you know why you don't see any outlets? That's on purpose. Because the outlets in Venezuela are different from those in Argentina. So if you saw an outlet, you'd notice. And the last piece of evidence is, well, I grabbed Michelo's tax ID, which anyone can find. I checked it with the central bank to see if he had any debts. And surprise, he does. And he's been paying them on time. Banco Nación Argentina, status 1, which means he's been paying. 2,800,000 and Naranja Digital, a financial company that I assume is Tarjeta Naranja. 1,900,000 status 1 means he's been paying. At least he's a responsible citizen.
Let's see. Although this might not mean anything, right? Let me explain. At the beginning, when I started traveling, before I settled here, I paid my taxes through my accountant. For example, I could be in South Korea or in Japan. The accountant would handle it and let me know what I owe, asking me to transfer it to him. So I would make the transfer, and that way I kept paying my taxes even if I was in another country. Keep in mind, that's not a minor detail. What I'm getting at is that this doesn't mean Michelo is in Argentina unless you have to be there in person. Argentinians, please explain this point clearly. Let's continue.
And before finishing the video, one more thing. I have a piece of information that confirms that Michelo is in Salta. But I don't think it's legal for me to say it on YouTube. And if I say it, the person who gave me the information will lose their job. The only way I can think of is if some security minister or someone like that forces me to do it. And well, I don't know what I would do then. You know, I probably wouldn't say it. And one last thing. I know we all find this funny because he's such a dramatic character, because now he's pretending to be in a fictional hospital. It's all just crazy. But this guy had access to very exclusive places. This guy stood next to Diosdado Cabello, Maduro. This guy saw things.
I mean, Michelo should be investigated. That's very important. Michelo also sent a Venezuelan woman to jail, just reminding you. A Venezuelan woman was locked up for a year in the helicoide because of Michelo. The guy got money from all these people. Michelo should at least be investigated in Argentina.
What's happening with Michelo isn't a joke, so, I don't know, people from the Argentine government, a spy came in. What do we do?
Go after him. Definitely, what you should do is go after him. Excellent video by Tipito Enojado. Incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much and see you next time.